Peace and blessings. Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So I'm going to wait a couple of minutes for people to tune in before I get started. I'll just wait a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to get started. I see I have a couple of people here. So if you can let me know if the audio is fine, if the video is fine, I would appreciate it before I get started. You can throw up the 7 if everything's fine. I would appreciate it, and then I'll get started. All right, I'm going to assume that everything is fine. So today, my lady sent me this article about this white woman who basically spazzed out on this brother in Central Park. And so what I'm going to do is read some excerpts from this particular article, and then as usual, I'm going to hit you with my commentary. And I don't know how many of you all have seen this video, but I will post the links to this article in the description box. The article has the video in it, so you could actually view this video for yourself. But here's the situation. It says that Christian Cooper was bird watching deep in the woods of Manhattan Central Park when he noticed a rogue Cocker Spaniel digging up the shrubbery around him. And it says that many birds he spots come for the dense plants. So he approached the dog owners and, with a request. Could she leash up the dog as the park rules required? And from what I understand, there was a sign like right next to this lady saying that you have to leash your dogs. And so this brother is like, this dog is messing up the shrubs and everything. Why don't you leash the dog up, basically like the sign says? But instead, this woman cops her attitude, and her name is Amy Cooper. She gets all upset, and she says, I'm going to tell the police, I'm going to call the police. I'm going to tell the police that there's an African-American man threatening my life. And she pulled out her phone and dialed 911. And, while this was occurring, this brother videotaped the whole incident. And it says less than 24 hours later, after a video of their exchange went online, she lost her dog, her anonymity, and her job. And they said that this is the latest in a long, too familiar pattern of white people calling the police on black people for any number of activities, including barbecuing, playing golf, swimming in a pool. These are the kinds of things people call the police on black people for. So here you have a brother just asking this woman to abide by the rules. He's just in the park trying to watch birds, and this dog is running loose, tearing up the stuff. And while this lady is like threatening and calling the police and all that kind of stuff, she actually starts to choke her own dog. The dog eventually gets to the point where the dog is like yelping in pain because this woman is holding the dog up by his collar, choking the dog. So the woman lost her dog. She lost her job because it, came out that she's a racist. And also she was abusing the dog as well. And as my woman said, she probably lost her job more so because of how she treated that dog than how she treated the black man. Unfortunately, people are more concerned with the plight of animals than they are concerned with the plight of black people. I mean, y'all were here some of y'all were here just a few minutes ago when I did the video about the brother in Minneapolis killed by the police officer. That's what police do when they summon police. Unfortunately, that happens too often. When somebody threatens to call the police, they are essentially weaponizing the police against you, especially in a situation like this where there was no need at all to call any police. Here you have a brother simply asking this woman to abide by the rules of that particular park. But she's so outraged and so, upset about this whole thing, she actually threatens to call the police on this brother. Threatening this brother's freedom, threatening this brother's very safety. Because again, we know how these situations turn out too often. People call the police and black people end up dead at the end of at the end of the day, at the end of the situation. When it was something that didn't even warrant a call from the police. And then the fact that she emphasized African American. African American, as if that makes him more threatening, as if that implies that he's more criminal or, he's worthy of being, captured by the police. If that was just some white man telling her to abide by the rules, I doubt that she would have said, well, I'm going to tell the police that a white man is threatening me. And this is another situation where you have, one of these white racist women lying on black men. This brother wasn't threatening her at all. This brother didn't pose any kind of threat. He didn't make any kind of demeaning remarks. He simply asked her to abide by the rules of the park. But then she's going to paint this picture as if this brother is posing some kind of threat, thereby threatening this brother's life. This article goes on to say that Kristen Cooper, and the thing that's odd is they both have the same last name, even though they're not related at all, obviously. But it goes into detail about Kristen Cooper. It says that he had gotten up early on Memorial Day to head to the Ramble, a heavily wooded section of Central Park, designed to resemble a wild garden. And it talks about how the area is inviting to stopover birds on their northward migration. So it's like an opportunity to see different types of birds, and that's why the brother was there. It says an avid birder since childhood, Cooper had been making daily trips in recent weeks to peek at the wild fowl, stopping by for some refuge from the urban sprawl. And it goes on to talk about how this dog was digging up the soil and ruining the delicate habitat and disturbing the birds. So that's when he asked, this lady to put a leash on the dog. And the brother said, when she called the police, when she threatened to call the police, he was basically saying, well, go ahead and call the police. And then in this article, it says that he went on to say this: I can be racially intimidated and kowtowed to her, but he said, I'm not going to participate in my own dehumanization. And I'm glad that brother stood up to this woman. He said, please call the cops. Please tell them whatever you like. And this woman was getting up in this brother's face. Like when he was video recording her, she was like getting all up in his face, getting confrontational and stuff. So the police said when they arrived on the scene, they only found the woman and issued no summons and made no arrests. And later, this woman issued an apology. She said it was unacceptable, and I humbly and fully apologize to everyone that's seen that video, everyone that's been offended, everyone who thinks of me in a lower light. I understand why they do. And it says that the video had been viewed actually 20 million times. And her employer said they at first they placed her on administrative leave, and then they did an internal review and decided to terminate her effectively. And then it says the animal rescue where she adopted the dog took back the dog. Because again, if you watch the video, you can see her literally hanging this dog by holding up the collar so high the dog starts twisting, and he has to stay on his hind legs to prevent her from choking him, and then eventually he starts making noise and rolling around. So this woman has no respect for the very dog that she's letting run around loose and everything like that. And this article talks about the case of Emmett Till and To Kill a Mockingbird. I mean, you got all these situations where these people just make up stories on black men, lie on black men. And after that, after these lies have been put out here, black men end up losing their lives. And this brother could have well lost his life because this woman lied about him threatening her life. We saw what happened to Emmett Till, brother beaten beyond recognition. And we see modern day cases where white women have lied on black men. Shout out to Kink and Curls. Thanks for tuning in. I'll get to your comments in 1 second, everybody. Just want to power through through this article and share my thoughts. Yeah, it's just crazy. This whole situation is crazy, man. So I want to know what y'all think about this. I want to hear from y'all in the comments. Let's see what people are saying. Peace to Gab, real conversations. Shout out to Afros and Afro Sheen. Yeah, she got fired. Shout out to True Royal Family. It's been a minute. I'm glad to see you here. It's been a minute. Yeah, I'm getting back into doing my regular videos. This campaign has really kept me busy. The campaign comes to an end soon. The election is June 2nd. So again, if people live in Baltimore in the 4th district, I encourage you all to vote for me. And I want to shout out everyone who's donated to my campaign. I truly appreciate it. Hopefully it will make a difference in this election. But yeah, that's a whole nother story. I'll probably come back to you all after this election is over and just share my thoughts about that. But yeah, that's been keeping me busy, so I haven't had the time to talk about these issues like I would like to. Oh, so shout out to Voltron Black, my man Voltron Black. He said Candace Owens once again said something stupid about this issue. Yeah, I mean, she's always saying something stupid, man. I mean, she's nothing but a professional troll. She is nothing but a mouthpiece for white supremacy. That's what this woman gets paid to do. You know, tout white supremacist talking points and serve as a shield for these white supremacists. That's her job, man. So I'm not surprised she wouldn't say something stupid about that too. Um, yeah, so let's see what else you guys are saying. Yeah, Afros and Afro Sheen said they tell us to forget the past, but they're constantly upholding the slave narrative. Exactly. I mean, it's like you would have thought these things were over with Emmett Till, but here we are in 2020, and we got this white woman deliberately lying on this brother. Um, it's just a shame, man. All these black brothers, they get lied on and stuff, man. This woman, like, and then she was acting like when she was, like, you got to see this videotape. She tries to act like she's being really threatened, you know, in her tone of her voice when she's talking to these police. And we know how these police overreact. We know what these police do in these situations. And it's like almost like she wanted to set that brother up simply because she felt like her feelings were hurt because he told her to abide by the law. Shout out to Ashley Beckford. You know, thanks for your words of encouragement. You know, I truly appreciate it. Um, and words have power. You know, they really inspire people. And, you know, your words inspire me. The people who have supported me, made supportive statements, and made donations to the campaign. You all have inspired me a lot. Yeah, so let's see. Somebody's. Yeah. So shout out to Voltron Black. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. You know, I appreciate y'all. I don't want to keep y'all much longer. You know, for the people that watch this on a playback, tell me what you think about this story. Please rate, comment, subscribe, like the video, share the video, hit that notification bell so that you'll know when I post new content. You know, some people have told me that they don't see my video, like for some reason they're not seeing that I'm posting content. And, you know, that's why I encourage you all to hit that notification bell so that you'll know right away when I post new content on here. So with that, peace and blessings, everyone. Be safe.